Charlie Kirk's situation just got funnier. Watch this out.
Hey, so I know you're buddy-buddy with Michael Knowles. Recently, he said the phrase, quote, we should eradicate transgenderism. And
that is correct. Yeah, you got it right.
The footage captures a debate between Charlie Kirk and an individual questioning him on the controversial topic of transgenderism. The discussion centers around a statement by Michael Knowles advocating for the eradication of transgenderism, with Kirk aligning to the view that it refers to an ideology rather than individuals.
How would you go about that? How do you eliminate transgenderism without eliminating transgenders?
I warned you about this. I love the passion. Specifically, he said transgenderism, right, which is an ideology. And he said
they're intertwined, like Judaism.
Well, hold on. He said from public life, okay? So, yeah, I do agree with it 100%. The best way is that we should not be platforming or acting as if a mental delusion is normal, good for children, or something that is acceptable.
He argues against societal acceptance of what he describes as a mental delusion and opposes policies such as allowing transgender women to compete in women's sports or providing gender-affirming care for minors. Kirk highlights historical errors in medical practices to caution against current trends in gender-affirming treatments.
Okay, so throughout history, we've had these medical breakthroughs where we learn that things are just like how people are, you know? So I'm
Do it
just
again,
asking,
we're going to have to kick you out. Please don't interrupt.
how do you know that what's happening right now isn't like a medical breakthrough? How do you know it is a mental illness?
Yeah, 5,000 years of recorded history and common sense that men can't
But
give
back
birth.
in history, were there not like skeletons being dug up with
Play this out.
LGBTQ?
So how do I know that biological reality is true?
I'm
Chromosomes.
not arguing about biological reality.
Yeah,
The audience member challenges Kirk on the historical existence of transgender identities, but Kirk dismisses these claims, emphasizing biological sex as immutable and rooted in chromosomes.
my chromosomes instruct my opinion first and foremost. So XX, XY chromosomes, and I reject the term gender actually. It's sex. And you have a sex at birth, and you cannot change that.
The debate underscores his belief in preserving traditional gender roles and dismissing policies accommodating transgender individuals as misguided and unfair.
I really like the LGBT community today, and I was going to ask you about a specific person in that community, Ms. Blair White.
In this exchange, Charlie Kirk debates a self-identified supporter of the LGBT community over gender identity and trans issues. The participant expresses their belief in gender dysphoria as a real and scientifically validated condition, asserting that trans individuals might have a woman's soul in a man's body.
Wait, is it a biological woman who thinks they're a man? I can't remember.
Well, she's a trans woman.
Okay, so a fake woman.
So...
No, I'm just trying. I'm not even sarcastic. I don't. So it's a man who masquerades as a woman.
If you were, I mean, there was a debate she had with, Ben Shapiro. You were to refer to her at like a restaurant or whatever. You would.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could pretend to be black. You could put blackface on. That doesn't make you black. But I'm just wondering. I'm not even. I don't know much about Blair White. So it's a man who wears the costume of a woman. Is that right?
I mean, if you believe that value system, then I
No.
guess you could
Well, then
say
let me ask you. What is a woman?
Kirk, however, challenges this, labeling it a mental delusion rather than truth. Arguing against affirming transgender identities, he equates gender transition to wearing a costume and claims society should guide such individuals toward an alternative path rather than reinforcing their beliefs.
I
No.
guess you could
Well, then
say
let me ask you. What is a woman?
It's a person who needs a man to open their pickle jar.
Oh.
The discussion turns contentious when Kirk questions the participants' views on pronouns and challenges them to define woman. He criticizes the notion of choosing gender identities, likening it to attempting to change immutable traits like height.
You can't answer what a woman is.
That's not what I said. I did answer what a woman was.
Yeah, I mean, rather, so that's your final answer. It's like, who wants to be a millionaire? That's your final answer? That's what a woman is?
Answer. So, obviously the Bible says that a woman is a woman, a person with a vagina, obviously. But I do believe that gender dysphoria is a real thing.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're willing to appropriate the word woman I guess it does fit your definition because it's a man who could open a pickle jar. So that's kind of, I guess it fits your definition.
The debate ends with rising tensions as Kirk dismisses the participants' arguments, maintaining his position that societal truth should override individual perception.
Hello,
Yes.
my name's Eve, your local transsexual. I just wonder where you get this idea that like trans people are being indoctrinated.
In this exchange, Charlie Kirk engages with a self-identified transsexual individual named Eve about gender identity and biological distinctions. Eve argues that being a woman is defined by self-identification, while Kirk challenges this view, emphasizing biological differences such as chromosomes, reproductive abilities, and skeletal structure.
Okay, so are you say you're transsexual or transgender? And tell me, is there a technical difference in the two?
Damn, okay. Some people say that there's a difference. To me, there's no difference, so it's just either or.
Okay, so what are your chromosomes, XX or XY?
Very strange question, but
Not
I
really.
think XY.
Okay, so you were born as a man and you are a man.
No. I was
Okay.
born as a man, and now I'm a woman.
Okay, no, but you don't become a woman just because you dress like a woman.
Oh, goodness.
The discussion highlights disagreements over the legitimacy of gender identity as separate from biological sex. Eve contends that transitioning, through measures like hormone therapy, allows for an alignment with one's gender identity. But Kirk counters that biological realities remain unchanged.
I don't become black. Do I become black if I wear blackface?
That is a wild comparison, but hormones by themselves you can actively change. By taking HRT, you can also stop taking the T suppressor.
But people are more than
eventually.
hormones. I mean, you have men with low testosterone. Those are called white dudes for Harris. You can have women with high testosterone. So testosterone, estrogen, and your endocrinology is more than what you are as either a man or a woman.
Kirk questions whether these might influence or be conflated with transgender identity, which Eve denies. The debate also touches on cultural and racial analogies, with Kirk asserting the importance of objective truth in defining categories.
Brain size, there is how you process information, there is bone density, muscle mass. Every single one of your cells is either coded XX or XY. Okay,
That's
but then wait, why? How is it different? Because you're saying that if you dress a certain way and you present a certain way, you can be as you think you are. Why can't I also just choose what culture I am? But you were born as a man.
Thank you.
Whereas Eve maintains a flexible view of identity. The exchange underscores polarized perspectives on gender and self-perception between Charlie Kirk and a queer college student explores identity, politics, and societal perceptions. The student identifies as queer.
I totally agree. Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
When I grew up, calling someone queer was like a slur. Tell me what that means. I mean that. And how is it different than just saying you're lesbian or bisexual or gay?
The student explains that queer serves as a flexible label for diverse sexual and gender identities. Kirk expresses confusion.
So it can be different for everyone because gender, sexuality, it's a spectrum just like anything else.
No, but what does queer mean though?
Queer, it's just a label.
What does the label mean?
It's different for everyone.
Okay. No, I know, but that doesn't.
Seeking a concrete definition, and compares it to how he defines conservatism with specific principles. The student emphasizes that queer identity resists rigid categorization.
No, I just want I want a definition. I mean, I'm not trying to put you as a trap though. Like, what is the, like? Can you give me a?
I'm gay, right?
Okay, no, that's good. So,
Yeah.
but then, so what's the difference then, gay and queer?
No, I have a real question.
Okay.
I have a real question. What are your favorite policies you want implemented from Trump? Like if he were to be elected?
The dialogue shifts to political topics. Kirk outlines policies he supports, such as domestic energy production, aiming to present Trump's leadership favorably. The student agrees with some points,
I think we should broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. I think we should try to end the Israeli war as quickly and as humanely possible. I believe we should secure the southern border, cut taxes for middle-income earners, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security.
But diverges on Trump's suitability as a leader, labeling him as racist. Kirk challenges this accusation, asking for specific examples.
He's racist. Yup, boo me.
So when has he ever exhibited that? Give me clear and specific example. What, you think he's a racist because the media has told you he's a racist?
Both participants seek common ground, but also grapple with deeply entrenched perspectives.